What's up, Buck Dugaldini in the garage? This right here represents, well, damn near the last leaf of the year that's going to fall, which means it's time to winterize our small engines, put them up in the shed, and dig out the snowplow. Because pretty soon, when we shovel in snow, we are done mowing the lawn for a year. So what we have to do today is we got to winterize all these bad boys right here. In the spring, when I come back to them, I want them starting first pull. I want them ready to eat, and I don't want to be tinkering around with carbs. Because that's the thing. Mankind has found a way to ruin both gas cans and gas, something we'll get into in a minute. But the stuff that you did 30, 40, 50 years ago to winterize an engine, not necessarily the stuff you have to do today. There's a lot of misconception and downright bad advice on what you should do to these bad boys. But don't worry, I got you covered. This is what we're going to be using: some fogging oil, a little bit of fluid film. You're going to need some Sta-Bil. They got the cherry flavor. That's what I lived on as a kid, but as an adult I prefer the blueberry here, the marine version, but we can talk about that some more. But the very first step, got to clean them off. Look at this, a whole summer worth of mud and the blood and the beer. Got to get that off there. Prevents rust, and then they just come out looking clean. Now, my whole life I've been a simple green man. I've cleaned many a dirty girl with this. I got an email from Super Clean. They said, hey, allow us to try to change your mind. So today they sent me these products right here. Another time we're going to test out the heavy degreaser and the foaming and the wheel shine, but today this is supposed to be a replacement for my beloved Simple Green. So we're going to see how it does on this grease here. And additionally, I've been meaning to power wash the mule, so we're going to take the old Typhoon shooter, get it hooked up to the hose there, and let's spray these things down real quick, and then we'll get into what we have to do inside the engine. But trust you me, step one, clean it down. It worked for you all summer. It deserves a bath. There you have it. Before you throw a conniption fit about me just blasting water with the Typhoon shooter all over the mule motor, these things are designed to be submerged up to here. This is where the air intake is. That is one of the most waterproof engines on the planet. Literally, they're designed to just water up here. So we're a-okay on that front. Let's get back to winterizing our small engines though. All right, I'll say the Super Clean did its job. We will talk about them more at the end of the video. These motors are now clean. All the grease is off them. You're doing yourself a favor. The grease in places you don't want it is just going to attract dirt, and then holding dirt close to the metal with moisture leads to rust, surface rust, and that's how machines just wear out, you know. So take a few extra minutes to clean them before the next step, which is fogging oil. Now the purpose of fogging oil is to protect the inside of your engine. That's what we're doing today. We're protecting the inside of the engine and then the exterior of the machine. For inside the engine, use this fogging oil. It's oil that we're going to spray directly down the throat hole, and it's actually going to coat the inside of the carb and the motor with this waxy oil. It'll burn off as soon as you start it up in the spring, but it keeps it from rusting or anything else. Let's get, let's do the leaf vac first. That's the easiest to get to. We'll get that one fired up. We'll start shooting some of this down the throat hole. She ain't got no gas in her. Come on, man, amateur hour. Well, this is gonna give me an opportunity to rant about one of my least favorite things. New gas cans. What the heck happened to new gas cans? New gas cans are exactly what happens when the government gets involved with something they have no business getting involved with. They started putting all types of safeties on them. What you gotta do is run a nail right through that safety precaution. I'm not suggesting you do it, it's probably illegal, but if it happens, if there happens to be a roofing nail accident, whatever. Now this gas I'm putting in here is ethanol free, and it's got Sta-Bil in it. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Oh, take 36. Amateur hour, my goodness. There you go. It's easy as that. Give her a shot, let her recover. Give her a shot, let her recover. Do that a couple times, then give her one big shot that either kills her out or near kills her out. This will smoke and it'll sputter a bit when it starts up in the spring, but I know it's not going to be rusted, it's not going to be seized for any reason. Another thing to cover here is oil. A lot of people say change your oil before the spring. I don't really see why. Why bother? The only thing you have to do is check it. Make sure it doesn't smell like gas and it doesn't have water in it. Now, this oil definitely needs to be changed, but I know it doesn't have water in it, and I know it doesn't have gas in it. Just change it in the spring. I like changing them in the spring because then I know it's fresh, it's good, it hasn't been sitting. You get all the sediment out. It's fine, it's fine. That's my official. I bless this. Don't change the oil. I'm gonna fog the rest of these guys, and then we'll move on to the fuel stuff. Well, friends, a long time ago, gasoline came with lead in it, and it was awesome. It kept engines from knocking. Everybody loved it until they didn't. Something about birth defects in the ozone layer, they got rid of that. That was fine. Then a number of years down the road, they said, hey, what if we took 15% of this fuel out of the fuel and changed it over and put corn in there instead? And that was less fine. Actually, that really sucks. Ethanol gas is awful. Ethanol gas breaks down and it turns into gross varnish stuff. It goes bad very quickly. It ruins carburetors. In some cases, on older applications, it can melt some of the rubber they used. It's really nasty stuff. One way to make it last over the winter is to put Sta-Bil in your gasoline. It's a funny thing, if you ever watch Junkyard Digs, sometimes they'll get a car and it has 15-year-old gas in it and it runs fine. But you get a car with 2-year-old gas and it won't run fine. It's because the 2-year-old gas, with all this ethanol, it breaks down so much quicker and goes so bad. So it's so important to get some Sta-Bil in there. Now, I trust Sta-Bil brand. That's all I've used my whole life. That's what I was raised on. I watched my dad put this in every jerry can of gas he ever got and never had a problem. He used the cherry flavor. I've come to think this marine one is a little better. Anything marine is just going to be slightly more robust than the non-romaine amateur hour marine counterpart. Now they ask you to do some math, but it's not that bad. You figure out how many gallons of gas you got, and then it's something like Christmas, I don't know, 1 ounce per whatever amount, and you just squeeze that until you get up to the correct point. There's graduations on here, and then you swipe that right into your gas tank, swish it around a little bit, and there you go. That jerry can that I filled up the leaf vac with before had Sta-Bil in it, the marine Sta-Bil. I use it all year round, but definitely use it, that fill up right before you put everything away. Now, some people will tell you, avoid this altogether. Don't even worry about the Sta-Bil and just go ahead and jimmy jam all the gas out of the tank, run your carburetor dry and store it like that. I don't love that idea. I don't like the idea of storing anything dry. Things dry out, other corrosion incidents can happen. Keep the fuel in there. It's good for it to have fuel in there. The tank, the carb, the lines, they're all meant to have fuel in there. It makes it easier in the spring. Just slam dance some Sta-Bil in there. It's no big deal. You can get this at any store. All the things I'm using. The fogging oil may be the hardest one to find, but you can find it. This Sta-Bil, absolutely. And then the final thing I'm going to use, fluid film. Anybody who watches South Main Auto or Watch West Work or any of the other up north real serious professional mechanics will be familiar with fluid film. I like to spray the bottom of my mower because I don't have the luxury of a big old barn. I got a real teeny barn in the back that's barely even a lean-to, and then I got my garage where I have the mule will be staying there this winter. I've got the 318 that I promise this 318 is going to get put in that Dodge. Just give me some time. Look, I've got the intake for it. I got this beautiful brand new intake. Anyway, point being, all this kind of stuff. Hey, this right here I found actually in that shed. Forgot I even had it. It's never run. What do you think? Should we try to get her? We'll do a video on that. I don't even know if it's seized. I haven't even checked yet. Oh, it's not seized. Perfect. Point being, I store these outside under a tarp on some gravel, right? Now, it's not that bad, but gravel holds moisture, and I got a pretty new blade on this thing. Since literally, I got this on the side of the road. Somebody had left it outside. Magneto was all rusted, the blade was all rusted. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire down the bottoms of these. Since the gravel holds on to moisture, I don't want it to rust. I don't want that blade to rust. I don't want the bottom of the leaf vac to rust. This one may get put inside because that pump down there, you'll never get all the water out of the pump. So don't store your Typhoon shooter outside. That'll freeze. Actually, the first year I had this, I amateur houred it. Left her outside, went in the spring, didn't work. I only had it a year. The pump had froze and broke, duh. So that gets put in the basement. But those two, stop talking, just get to work. My goodness. Alrighty, I didn't realize the bottom of the leaf vac is actually plastic. It's pretty cool, so that's definitely not going to go back on. It's definitely not going to rust on me. That's really all there is to it for this one. I'll give you one more tip. Store these mulching bags inside, at least in a shed or a garage. If you leave them outside, they will go moldy and they'll get gross. And in the case of this machine's useless without it. That's really about all there is to it. As for the Super Clean, I was pretty happy with it. Now, this was not a sponsored video, but thank you, Super Clean, for sending us this care package. They sent it to us and told us to give it a shot, which we did. We were able to test one of the products today. I was happy with it. I'm going to put it on the shelf. As you can see, my Simple Green is pretty much out. It's going to get replaced with Super Clean. That's all there is to it. As projects come up where we can test the rest of these products, my goodness, products. As more projects come up where we can test these forkin' products, we will. So if you want to see more Super Clean, I guess you're just going to have to watch more D&E. I'll tell you right now, this one, the Super Clean foaming, I've got some plans for that. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get this dirty Dodge a little less dirty at some point. If you have any questions on this stuff, by all means, leave me a comment down there in the squawk boxes. All of these products are super available. There are other versions. STP makes one. I'm just saying, man, Sta-Bil is like the original. Sometimes you just get the original. That's all I'm saying it. Who makes one of these? I don't remember. Yamalube makes one. I like this Starbright because it's cheap and it works. But there are a couple marine brands, maybe Evinrude or somebody. I don't know. Oh, Sta-Bil. Sta-Bil makes one. Yeah, it's a red can. Sta-Bil makes a red can of fogging, but it's more expensive, and this one works. So get this one. It's on Amazon, like 10 bucks. And Fluid Film is just amazing. If you're living in the Rust Belt and you're not buying that by the case, you're screwing up, bud. That's all there is to it. So if you got a question or a comment, by all means, leave it down there in the squawk box. If you like the video, That's just common sense. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe even consider checking us out on Etsy. We got some cool stuff already on there and some even cooler stuff coming. I'm going to go inside because it's actually 40 degrees and it's been a little bit freezing wearing this t-shirt while power washing. I'm not sure why I didn't put my sweatshirt back on. I mean, if you have an awesome purple shirt, they asked me, you want a purple shirt or like a black shirt? And I was like, you're probably going to want to send the purple one. If you guys didn't know, my favorite color is purple. You learned something new about Doug from D&E in the Garage today. My favorite color is purple. Tell me down in the squawk boxes, what is your favorite purple color? Amateur hour. It's time for Silly Soda. I've been outside too long today. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll see you next time. Thanks. Whatever. Christmas. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I can't get anything right today. Amateur hour all day. 24 hours of amateur hour.